My name is Adrian Tornatore. I'm doing acting and performance here in UCA. I was born in Mexico, but grew up in Spain, Madrid.
Hello, my name's Eleanor and I'm from Belgium.
Hi, my name's Katie Greenwood. I am from the Turks and Caicos Islands.
I'm Panagiotis Exis. I'm from Greece.
Hi, my name is Tiger. I'm from Germany.
My name is Elena. I come from Spain.
Hi, I'm Lil. I'm from France.
Qutayba Al-Khatib from Saudi Arabia.
I'm Miguel. I come from Italy.
I chose to come to UCA because I found that it was the best for me to get into in the industry I wanted to get into, and also the best way for me to express myself and to pursue the things that I want to do and meet other people who have similar interests and dreams than I have.
I really liked the course. I thought the facilities were amazing for what I wanted to do. And I like the campus feel of it. It looked very friendly, and that's highly specialized. So doing something like a master's in ceramics, it's not something that's widely available, and this place seemed to have it all.
And it's really nice. I like it's really well organized, and as I said before, there's really good facilities and location is good.
The most thing I find interesting in the UK is the variety of nationalities. It's like multicultural country, and I love that. The students here are really nice. They are really kind people.
At the beginning I was a bit worried, I think because I was coming from a different country. But like quite quickly with my roommates and stuff, I got used to it, and then now like after just like a week I really like just being here and walking around and stuff, so yeah.
And I think it's really nice to be here in this place, and also I really like the course, which is something I really want to do. Like it's not too big, so you can get to know most of the people actually, and also the campus is not too big, but you still got like the grass outside, you can sit outside, and I think it's a nice place to be.
You have many possibilities in this school. The equipment is very good, and what I've seen so far, the structure of the courses are very well done.
I really like the fact that everyone is very friendly and keen to know more people, because here, at least in our class, we're first year one students, so we don't know many people here. Probably, and it's very nice for it.
I chose UCA because I thought it was good, like the fact that it's so close to London, and also because the tutors sounded really good.
It just gives you like a space to create and think with no limits, you know.
I'm really looking forward to meet other people this year and to make really friends that I hope you're gonna keep for all your life.
Hello? Hi. Hello everyone. My name is Ahsan. I'm from EN Global Education Limited from Dhaka office. And today here with us Ms. Rina Jathani. She's from University from the Creative Arts. She's the regional manager for Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. And today we're gonna discuss a lot about University for the Creative Arts, especially for Bangladeshi students. What is the university offers for Bangladeshi students? Like the entry requirements, scholarship opportunities, the why the students choose the University for the Creative Arts. So before I'm going to start everything, I'll must go to Ms. Reena. Can you just introduce the university for the Bangladeshi student? I know the University for the Creative Arts already very popular and well-known university. Tell us something about university from your point of view, the location, like the facilities, why they choose specialist Creative Arts University.
So, firstly, I would welcome all the Bangladeshi students here, whoever is watching the live sessions, and all the students and parents who are watching this session live. This is a great warm welcome for you all to the University for the Creative Arts, which is our own campus. We have four different campuses in the UK in two different counties. And the major reason why UCA is being very very popular is, especially if you see with related to Bangladeshi students, being reason it is located in one of the best destinations in the UK. It's very very close to the favorite place of all the students around the world in the UK, which is London. So it is hardly say around 45 to 55 minutes from the central London, and the students can actually travel to and fro every day. So this is the best thing. Other than that, as a university, we are maintaining always our quality standards and teaching facilities. Now, when you talk about the teaching facilities, the teaching excellence framework comes into the picture, wherein we have been gold rated in the UK for our teaching and standardizations. When you talk about the modules of the university, the modules of the university are very very unique. It is just not like any other business school which comes into the picture, but it has a much better futuristic approach rather than a common approach, because the modules and the subjects are designed in such a way that the student automatically thinks that he is studying something, a better way of taking anything and everything into all the skills of life. So this is how UCA is more popular. And with regards to the ranking, we are the seventh business ranked school in the UK, especially for the creative business school, and that is why we have been mentioned that as a creative business school, which is very very unique. So this is a small thing about UCA. Later, what I would suggest is, as we go on with the session, we will come up with more and more answers. And other than that, I would request, or I would rather say, you should come to UCA to experience and explore the different options what we offer, the wide variety range.
Okay, thank you so much for the the brief introduction. I think one thing I must clear about the location. Okay, like many students from this part of the world, they want to stay connected to the London. Okay, like from the very childhood we used to know about London. People used to talk about London. So University for the Creative Arts, they're gonna give you the both opportunity. Student can start at the UCA where living cost is low, but whether they actually work in London, if they want to do part-time work, and even they stay in London, you just said like it's very much
Yep.
possible to travel to London, right? So there is
Correct.
no question about like location. If any student wants to stay, London or near London, they can still, it's manageable if they start in the UCA, right? And one thing
Yes.
you just mentioned, I must clarify again regarding the the teaching status, which you just mentioned, goal rated. So this is the government agency. The government, they give the rating, right? So goal rated means student is always getting the outstanding teaching quality. And in terms of ranking, you just mentioned is 7th in the UK. So I just repeat in the so the student can make a note. You want to study in the UK in terms of location wise, it's in the best place. You can both use the London and outside London facilities. Then the ranking wise is really good, and even obviously teaching quality. So I think the UCA provides, it's a complete package for the student, right? Especially
Yes.
for this part of world.
And the best part is, staying very close to London, the student does not has to show living expenses as per London.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
you need to only show living expenses outside London. So this is one of the best advantages, as an international student, what you can opt for. And with regards to the ranking facts and figures, we are having at least a 96.9 percentage of employability rate within 6 months of the graduation of the students. Specifically, this is with related to international students. More than 1.2 million jobs available in the UK for the creative industries. So this is not something what I am talking about only. This you can definitely go and do a research, and you can definitely find all these facts and figures are available in the governmental websites of UK.
So this is like University for the Creative Arts. It's not like the university giving you the qualification. They just actually make students ready for the future job. So 96% is this really really like higher than the national average, like one of the top, right? So that means
Yes.
once students finish their degree, it's like almost they're gonna get a job as soon as they finish their degree, because this is the way the university groom student, train student, or make them ready for the future job. So whoever watching us, I'm gonna request my students and all the parents. So this is the one of the investment. The return will definitely come, okay? Because the facts and figures that shows, right? So,
Yes.
and this is the why University for the Creative Arts, they really, they follow the different approach. You just mentioned in the introduction period, like, the modules they select, the design the course, they actually collaborate with the industry professional, how the job market is looking for, okay? How student, gonna face the career when they finish the course. And from this point of view, they design their course. That is the why the success rate is really, really good. So I should, ask our students and parents to keep that in mind before selecting any university. Okay. So this is the introduction. Now we're gonna move on the like the what are the course available. I know the January session is almost at the very end. Okay. So I believe there is still time to apply for January session, right?
In fact, I would suggest that the best part for international students again comes here into picture is we don't have a Jan intake, we have a February intake.
Oh, my
So
mistake. February intake.
yes. So, and that is starting in the mid of Feb. So, again, the applications are still open, and we have a very great amount of scholarship, which is £2,750. So, any student coming down to UCA can actually avail this competitive scholarship. Provided they are meeting the standard entry requirements of their English and their basic requirements, whatever has to be met, the standard ones, and they can still go ahead with the February intake. So this is how it can go ahead right away.
So there's like still plenty of chance. On top of that, the student gonna get 270 £750 anyway scholarship. It's like they do not need to make an extra application for the scholarship, right?
Yes.
So I think this is
If
really,
they are
really
eligible for the scholarship, we would definitely give them. For further details, they can always contact you, or they
definitely.
can even contact me.
Definitely. So, like regarding the most of the students that comes to entry requirements, okay. I know the University of Creative Arts, they are one of the specialized features like they provide some courses is not actually rarely available in other universities, especially in a design, web design, something courses. They always talk about the portfolio regarding the entry requirements. I know you're gonna go to the all the entry requirements. Can you just briefly make things clear for the students and the parents? What are the strict entry requirements for Bangladeshi students? In Bangladesh, there are different kind of university, national university, there's a private university, public university. So what sort of the entry requirements for the student so that they can make a decision within few days time? Okay. So to apply for the fifth session.
Okay. So now when I talk about the standard entry requirements, in case if a student, a Bangladeshi student specifically, he or she is going ahead for a master degree in the UCA, they need to have a 4-year bachelor's with a 2.7 out of 4 CGPA from a recognized university which is under UGC Bangladesh. So this is something what we would expect. And for a bachelor program, like let's say a student has done a higher secondary plus a 2 year of diploma, he or she can go ahead for the undergraduate studies with a minimum of 3.5 out of 5 CGPA. So this is our basic standard entry requirements. Now, when we consider the English requirement in specific, we accept for the students who are approaching us for the master's degree, that is the postgraduate thought program or a postgraduate research program, we accept them with a medium of instruction letter, which can be minimum of 3 years old, like maximum of 3 years old, minimum 2 to 3 years.
So those
So
students they finish their bachelor degree. Sorry to interrupt you. Those students they finish their bachelor degree in 2019. They're eligible, right?
2019 after March.
After March. Okay, that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
That means
Thank
ideally their mark sheet should show that they have done a few modules in the month of March 2019 to get the exemption of the IELTS or the SELT related exams, SELT related exams. I mean.
So is there any alternative English? Like any student, they could not meet the requirements. Like maybe he or she finished the bachelor in 2018, right? So what are the options apart from IELTS?
That is the only option because this is as per the UK visa standard entry requirement. See, either there are only two things: either the student has, completed an IELTS if it is the if the MOI is more than 3 years old, and if not, then the 3 year old MOI is actually accepted.
So do University of Creative Arts accept like the OIETC exam, Oxford International English Test?
Yes, we do
Okay,
agree.
we
We
do.
do accept that.
So basically, the student have plenty of option. Okay, either they come with IELTS or they come with medium of instruction. Even if both are not available, they can even do the Oxford International Test online, which they can sit anytime from anywhere from at home. Okay, so the in
Yes,
terms of like meeting the entry requirements, there is still a lot of option for students, right?
yes,
Because
correct.
sometimes some universities the IELTS requirement, the IELTS they need to book the dates, okay, and even though the pandemic situation is much better now, students used to face the problem. There is no, the hall is not available for us. So in terms of the entry requirements, meeting the language requirement, University for the Creative Arts is always like giving students a lot of flexibility, right?
Correct.
Okay, and
The
since you
only
just
thing
said
is, in case if you are taking ahead with an IELTS, then your overall for a master's program should be 6.5. For specific MBA, it should be no band less than 6, and for other for other postgraduate programs, it is 6 in individual band. So overall, it is 6.5.
so, like any business master's program is 6.5.
Only for an MBA, it is 6.5.
Only for
Other
MBA.
programs, it is 6.
So what about like one of the common course like global business management like MBM? Okay. In terms of
6.5.
MBM, 6.5.
6.5, no band less than 5.5. But for an MBA, it is overall 6.5, no band less than 6.
So if any student they want to like study for master course, any business course, they always should be overall 6.5. Depending on the
Yes.
course, maybe there is a below minimum band 6, like you just said, MBA. And some of the students, they complain maybe like previously maybe it used to be 6, like for like
Ye-
other master's course. So it is
Yes.
for this September or for this January?
No, this IELTS requirement is for February and for September, both.
Like it used to be like 6 until last September, right?
Yes, for other
Okay.
masters.
For other
And
masters, apart from
now,
MBA. Now
yes,
for
and
all the
now it
masters,
is
6%.
overall 6.5 and no band less than 6 for an MBA, and no band less than 5.5 for other masters program.
Other masters, okay. And can you just give us some idea for our student like the submitting the portfolio? Sometime I know there's a link you shared previously with our student, some link how to follow the instruction, how to make the portfolio, because some student maybe like they feel like they become very clumsy when making the portfolio and eventually they get rejected. Just simply can you just make things clear for the student how what is the methodology they follow in terms of making a portfolio,
Okay.
and what are
See,
the course they
basically,
require portfolio?
okay. So, basically, what a portfolio is all about is when you are applying for any fashion related course or a design related course or architecture related course, all these courses preferably require a portfolio. This is just to demonstrate, as into what you have been doing, what and all other sample works of yours, and what are the different methodologies you have been opting for to do your portfolio or do your sample works. Now all this accumulated together, you can make a web link of your portfolio and you can submit it with the application. So basically your portfolio can be your sketches. Let's say if you're applying for a music production school production course, or a theater visualization course, it will be your sketches. If it is say fashion designing, it is what is the material you're using for different types of textile designing. So your portfolio basically varies from course to course. Like let's say if your example you're applying for a jewelry making course, or a glass painting course. So what and all are the different colors you're using? For example, colors itself, you have different things, like you have wax colors, you have poster colors, you have oil paints, you have oil pastels. So there are different kinds of categorization what you have to see. And with what and all are the different methodologies, as I said earlier, what and all are you using to make your portfolio. So this is how you describe a portfolio of your own self when you're applying for a master's course, or a few courses also require in a bachelor's level. So depends on what course you're applying. Based on that, the requirement would be. And to know more in detail, you if you can just log into our website and just go and see under that what is the portfolio the faculty or the school is expecting from a student, especially international student. Because your work is something that you cannot go there physically, and you cannot present there, as in how the UK nationalites can do. But wherein for you it will be your portfolio and your statement of purpose which would always speak on behalf of you. So that is something which should be more clear, more impressive, and more expressive as well. So this is a short thing on the portfolio. For further things, I can always post a link on how a portfolio has to be created.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Because sometimes student comes, they become very nervous. Oh, now university, ask me in portfolio. So basically, what is show their interest, right? The area they want to study, they know the university that show them, just present themselves. Because student
Yes.
cannot present physically, so through their work, obviously, student gonna learn, right? But
Yes.
university wants to know what is your interest, what you have been thinking about this course. Okay, so this is all
Correct.
about portfolio, I think. Anyway, so regarding moving forward from here, like one student like come to the interview, okay. A lot of students they asked about okay, what should be the interview, why university used to take interview. So what is the like precast interview all about? Okay, because student, it's very easy when they understand it, right? It's all about his course, his future career plan, like who gonna finance your living arrangement, okay, your accommodation. So this is like very valid, question to ask because one international student they must know where they live, how they live, what should be the budget calculation. So these are the things university asks about, right? Can you just give them an idea what is speakers interview and why they should not be worried about it? Okay? What sort of preparation they may need?
Okay. The first thing, what I have always seen for international students, specifically, South Asian students, the minute you tell them it is an interview, they become a bit scared.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There itself, they lose at least 50% of their battle. Because the minute they become nervous, even they know the answer, they cannot even answer that. They tend to
Exactly,
forget.
exactly,
This is something which should not happen. See, a precast interview is basically nothing but, when you are submitting an application to the university, you are giving the university something called as a statement of purpose. Now, what a statement of purpose is all about is what is your overall profile till date, what you have been doing, and why do you want to go ahead with this particular course, why specifically in UK, why UCA, and what are your future plans. This is the similar thing, the precast interview questions will be. Okay. The only thing what can change is that the questions might be amended in a different way. That's it. But it cannot be entirely different, not definitely not out of the syllabus. It is like, why you want to study in the UK, they should be able to they should be able to answer. Where do you see yourself 5 years down the lane is what you have written in your SOP. That what are your future plans? Why do you want to do this course? This also they have already written this in the SOP. So I don't really understand why they don't answer that. Or see, 50%, as I said earlier, it is because of their nervousness. They don't even sometimes listen, and that is where they lose their focus on actually. If they are composed and calm and tend to listen, understand the question, I'm sure no person, will miss the opportunity. I'm 200% sure on that. Just don't be nervous and, tend to listen to what the interviewer is asking you. Focus on the question properly. Take a second or two, take a deep breath, and then answer if you're a bit nervous. But listen to the question keenly. Because if you don't listen, you will definitely end up answering something else. So its first thing is stop being nervous. Second thing is listen. And then third thing is take a second or two break and then answer. Do not by heart your answers,
Yeah, I
because
think
what happens is majority students, they tend to, just by heart something, and in their nervousness, if the questioner is asking you a different question and you are answering something else, so this should not actually happen, and this should be much more clearer. It should be a two-way communication rather than, just a one-way traffic. Like it's just that, the interview is going on questioning, and you are just doing something which is not even relevant. So always, keep certain things in mind. This not only, helps you to have a personal, growth or a personal development, but also, in all fields of life. Tomorrow, this is just one interview what you're facing today for the university. This also, can again happen during the visa office session.
definitely,
See,
definitely,
if you are likely, lucky enough, that then it might not happen. Then, you might get off your visa. But what if it again happens? And this is just not going to end here. See, precast interview is just one form of questionnaire what you have as an international student. But later on in life, even when this will be going on reoccurring, you will go attend a job interview. So there also they'll question you. Anything and everything in life will be questioned.
definitely, definitely,
So you need to be really clear on what you are and what your plans are all about. If you are, confident with this, I'm not saying being overconfident, but just at least be confident in what you're answering. That's it. There
so,
ends everything.
so basically, like if you say like if university takes a pre-class interview, it's actually that's better for student, right? Because like
101%.
definitely, because otherwise, whenever they're gonna move on to apply for the visa, what if the ECBI take the interview? So that means they already rehearsed something before, right? So they'll be
Yes.
like more easy. They'll be like more comfortable to face the interview. Otherwise, and I think it's not like interview like to university intend to take the student because they already accepted the student, right? They already
Yes.
made them offer. What is
Yes.
like they want to just talk about the student because regarding the international students they cannot see the student face to face. They cannot make their application even though they make application from a remote place. So that university just want to talk to the student maybe for like for short while. And it's like I think what you said, clear the mind is a better opportunity. Like okay, there's an interview. What the university gonna ask about? They're not gonna ask about what you've been done in 10 years back, right? They're gonna ask
Yes.
about it related to something what you want to study, right? And
Yes.
what you want to study, it comes with the accommodation. It's gonna come with the tuition fees. It's gonna come to the future career plan. It's gonna come to why this particular university because there is lots of other university. It's gonna come down to the why UK because there's some other English speaking country. So this sort of things interview gonna ask. They're not gonna ask something totally different, out of the box, right?
Yeah.
So I think one of the, you just mentioned a good point. Student actually, maybe I know the student take a lot of preparation. Okay, maybe at home. So maybe they already know this sort of question they're gonna ask, and in the interview asked with different way, they completely forget and out of normalize they whatever they have in their head, they start answering and they become okay, not the straight way they answer it. So the best thing is according to you and according even we have seen like students they're more relaxed. It's not something they need to show because they're going to study. If they know everything before that, there's no point of view they're gonna get the degree, right? It's like a more like a general introduction to the student. Okay, I'm going to study this topic. This is gonna give me that skills, and that skills gonna help in my future plan. Okay, my father is gonna to pay my tuition fee. Okay, I'm gonna stay in this sort of accommodation, and I made my plan. That is my food cost, budgeting. I think this is all about previous interview. And
Yes.
to be honest, it's really, really helpful on a student. What if the ECBA take the interview, right? And as you have just mentioned, each and every stage student need to face the interview because nobody gonna give you anything without cross verifying, right? So I
Yes.
think this is like one of the the very grounding stone the university gonna make their student, right? So there is nothing worry about the pre interview. And what should be the the duration of the interview. Some student, they ask, okay, and I heard somewhere they take 40 minutes, 1 hour interview. That due to the, the online, due to if anything comes out in the online, it's gonna share each and every group. Student become panicked, right? Due to the, so what is the usually it takes the duration of the interview, like 20 minutes, half an hour?
Okay. See, the minimum duration, this is like a slightly tricky question, to be honest. Now, what happens here is, like, let's say, a student, if he or she is, able to convince the interviewer in 5 minutes, that is the choice of the, student. Now, in case if they are taking, a little bit more time, like, they are pretty little unclear, but, they still have an answer, and the interviewer feels that, no, they have a good answer, but it's just that, they are not able to, explain a bit clearly. So they give that student a little bit more time. So the minimum time, what I can say is 5 to 10 minutes, and maximum time, what I can say is around 45 to 50 minutes. See, here also, the interviewer will be, slightly, they'll be good and a bit lenient to students. Why? Because even they also understand all the way that, the students have applied all the way, having so many options in the UK, they still have applied to UCA. And, how for a student, UCA is important. For us also, it is like, equally, every student of ours is with utmost care, and we
Definitely,
ensure that, we give them the best of services. So this is where,
definitely.
we play our important roles there.
Okay. So like we have pretty much covered so many things. Like one thing I want to, I want you to share with our students. What are the Bangladeshi or Asian community they are? Like some students or should I become like in homesick or I'll be the only one or should be any fellow Bangladeshi student or maybe any South Asian student because we share a lot of the most of the cultures, okay, all together. So what are the like South Asian community in ECA? Can you give us any some pictures so the student already get peace with their mind what I'm going to expect and what are the
Okay.
what sort of nationalities they're going to study there?
Okay. See, from last 2 years, what I could say is, especially for Bangladeshi students, you can definitely find more than, 200 to 250 students studying with you from Bangladesh every year.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm sure, every class you go, you will definitely have at least 10 to 15 Bangladeshi students, and I'm very sure about that. And with regards to the blend of international students, uh, I can say that, around 30 to 35% will be, say, UK and EU students. The rest will still be international students from different parts of the world. And with regards to South Asian students, where, we have lot other places also, like, India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, like, lot of South Asia, the whole South Asia. We would be at least having, say, a 15 to 20% of the entire population student from these places.
So the student they're gonna get the everything like they're gonna get the UK student, they're gonna get the rest of the world student, and obviously they're gonna get their home country student, also the South Asian student. So
Yes.
if they're more comfortable with the like South Asia, still gonna get community. If student or some student know I want to make network, okay, I want to connection with the other student and get to know the other culture. There's still a lot of opportunities there. So
Yes.
in terms of that, it's not like they should be like homesick or like there's very remote place. I know the university situated is very livelihood town. Everything is like it's not like they're gonna study in one of the remote place. There's nobody's there, okay? Because it's not like something like that, right?
Yes. See, it is it is definitely not a remote place. In fact, if you see the city centers, whatever, important things, or whatever important accessibility places has to be there for a student. In fact, not only for a student, even for normal people to live. We are very close to all that. We are just say around 5 to 7 minutes from the city center. We are just say from 5 to 7 minutes from the major clubs. So anything and everything what a student wants in his or her life is all there, and we have a lot of different clubs together. Like we have yoga club, we have radio jockey, we have television, we have management related clubs, recreation clubs. So there are many options for a student to actually explore his or her life. And when you talk in, like let's say if I was a student, and if I have to go to UCA, initially I would definitely look in for my nationality people, because that makes me a little bit comfortable, because what normally is students mentality is what I would say here. See, because they want something of their own people first, so at least 1 to 1.5 month or maximum 2 months I would stay there with our country people. And then I would slowly expand my network, because expanding network is very 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 important. Why? Because you will definitely get good amount of opportunities with your own people. I'm not saying no, but you never know that you might get a better opportunity with the networking as well. So this is also something what a student has to keep in mind. It's just not the student is just going to go and study and come back. No, it is also creating a good amount of network, a good amount of exposure for his or himself. And that is why a student becomes an independent person, and he or she tends to learn much more in practical rather than in theoretical. So
Thank
this
you so
makes
much.
a student much clearer in life as well.
Definitely. And like we pretty much covered so many things. Like one of the question I should raise now, like when you talk about UCA, University for the Creative Arts, there's a creative arts at the end, right? So can you just tell something about why I know the University of the Creative Arts is number one university for like creative arts industry. It's entire UK, is it right?
Yes.
So this is something like very one of the really good thing, like number one university in the UK, and I think second university in the entire Europe for the creative industry. And like I we had a like fair in the Sylhet region. One of the student came to us. She just finished like HSC, and she just mentioned me, okay, you want to study in the UK? Okay, did you choose an university, any subject? She said, yeah, I want to study UCA. The moment I asked, she said UCA. Okay, since you said UCA, why you want to study UCA? She said like, I want to do a fashion designer, and when I want to become a fashion designer in future. And I looked and I found the University of the Creative Arts is the best university in the UK for fashion designing course, right? So I want to mention, I know there's a lot of students choose the MBA, students choose business courses. Like those students, they want to, make their career in the fashion industry, creative industry. The University of Creative Arts is number one university, not only for Bangladeshi students, even for the UK student all over the world, right? So can we
Yes.
just say something about this particular course? I know the business course is always more popular. Like for those students, they just finish the in the in Bangladesh in terms of garments industry, is Bangladesh really one of the top in the UK in entire world. Okay, so there's a lot of students, they finish their bachelor in textile engineering, they finish their bachelor in fashion designing. Now there is not much opportunity to do their master degree in Bangladesh. Okay, so tell something about this student. Can you please tell us like what are the options available? Those students they finish their bachelor in textile engineering or maybe fashion industry. Now this is the opportunity to do their masters and become a leader in the industry. Okay, so for this particular course,
Okay. See, basically for UCA, we are top number one in the UK for three courses. One is fashion, one is design, and the third one is architecture. Now, with regards to fashion, we have a lot of courses under fashion. We have fashion marketing, we have fashion design, we have only fashion, we have fashion atelier. So there are a lot of options, and also we have MA textiles, even in bachelor level and even in masters level. So this is something what the student can look in. again, we have a specific course which is called as fashion photography, which is not much available in much universities. In fact, if you even browse through across the globe, there are very, very less universities having this fashion photography. Now, other than that, we have come up with, a lot of new courses, which will be, introduced shortly. So that also is coming under fashion related subjects only. And again, with architecture we are number one, also with design. So we have different kinds of design related subjects, again, let's say with, uh, fashion, let's say with even interiors, or let's say even with architecture. So, these three are the major top number one courses what we have. So,
So
again,
yeah, carry
sorry,
on,
you
carry
can
on.
continue.
No, you can carry on, carry on.
Okay. So just only thing is that, we would require a portfolio for all these courses. So please ensure that the portfolio what you're preparing a web link of your portfolio, and sending it with your application online.
Okay, thank you so much. Because I do not think so. There shouldn't be any reason to just stopping students to applying for the UCA. In terms even the general course, there's available opportunity. They provide a lot of scholarship, and definitely for the courses, fashion designing, architecture, and these are the number one in the UK. Like I think students should be proud to study in the UCA, right? And the
Yes.
application procedure is very simple. Even the entry requirements, I know there's a top some university, they in the top, good ranking. They always like their tuition fee is very high. The entry requirement is very, very, very high. The student face difficulty. Okay, so in that case of UCA, there is a number one in the UK. On top of that, they keep the entry requirement is very flexible to the student in terms of IELTS requirement, language requirement. So I do not think so is there any reason should be stopping students to apply for the UCA. And since you have just mentioned in terms of location is very close to London, student can even live in London and go to the university is very much possible. And still there is a lot of time to apply for the fifth session. Okay, so I don't think so. Like in students should focus UCA for the next intake, because as soon as they finish the intake, there is no main intake, right? Is there any main
No,
intake for the
we
UCA?
have only
So
February and September.
February, sir. So students have to for the next year February September session. So I would really request like all our Bangladeshi students and the parents. So before choosing any university, they should consider University for the Creative Arts, one of the really really good option. And if there any information they require, always we are here to help them. I know that you always available for the Bangladeshi student. Even you interact with the student even one to one. A lot of students they come to us. See, I want already talk to Miss Tina, and she was very helpful, and she recommended you or you. Okay, so I know you are very available very much all the time, student, in terms of WhatsApp, the in terms of very online session. So is there any like last remarks you want to make for the student considering the next available intake?
Uh, Only one thing is, just whenever you're taking any option in UCA, ensure that you are thorough with what you're taking. It's like, you. It's just like, you want to go ahead with the university and you don't know why. In that case, there is a question mark, because when you don't know why you want to go, then who else will?
Definitely,
So
that's
you should
really
be
really
really clear with your options. Why this course? What will this course fetch you in future? And why you should go ahead with this course for your future options, which is equally relevant to your choice. So this is something what you really need to be keen on. And as I said, do not be scared or nervous for your interviews. It is just a part of your process. And please remember, that you should not by heart anything and come, or don't write it in a paper and just read it out. No, because nobody wants a headline person there. So
no.
it's just that you be yourself, be confident, and just face the interview well. And I would request that Ian Global is always there for you guys to help. But just a request is that you guys should be self sufficient to help your own self. because anybody and anyone can, push you only to a certain extent. But at the end of the day, it's only you who will be, uh, being, bearing the circumstances or consequences. So all the very best, and I'm sure EN Global is always there to, help you all Bangladeshi students.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very, really thank you so much for coming, for clear so many things. I know we had a short session, but in this session we covered entry requirements, we covered university history, we covered university location, we covered the community out there, we covered the what are the top course they offer, we covered the scholarship, we covered the deadlines. So pretty much we covered everything for the student. And one of the things I really, really appreciate you to clear the interview process, because student becomes very nervous, they frighten why interview, because maybe some other university they are not taking into. It's actually for the student growth, okay? And it's to give them an opportunity to make them ready for the any future interview, right? And as you just said, it's just a regular question. They're gonna ask you anything what's out there in the universe, right? They're gonna ask you related to their course, why in the UK. So I think this should be very really good for students whoever listen to us. I really appreciate your presence here, and we do really hope to see you again and again for our students. And inshallah, we're gonna arrange a session very soon. Thank you so much for coming here, and have a good day. We'll see you soon. Okay.
Thank you, Ehsan, and thank you
Thank you.
all the viewers. Thank you, EN Global.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.